Hello, and welcome to Lakehead University's first Faculty Friday. Today, we are going to be covering computer science. I am joined by my colleague Patrick Carr, as well as Dr. Salimur Choudhury. So Patrick and I both work in international at Lakehead University, and Dr. Salimur works in the Department of Computer Science. So I'll give you a bit of a background of what I do at Lakehead, and then I'll pass it off to Patrick to do the same. Then we'll end with Dr. Salimur. So I am the International New and Social Media Officer here at Lakehead. I help oversee our online presence as well as our digital recruitment efforts overseas. And what that entails is running our social media channels, as well as hosting webinars just like this one. Of course, there's quite a bit more that I do, but I'll pass it off to Patrick now to chat a bit about what he does at Lakehead University.
Morning. My name is Patrick Carr. I am one of the international recruitment officers here at Lakehead University, and we may have met if you are in the Gulf Coast region, Africa, or the Caribbean, as those are the markets that I visit for Lakehead University. I'm happy to be here to answer questions today.
Awesome, and then I'll pass it off to Dr. Salimur Choudhury to chat a bit about what he does at Lakehead.
Hi, I'm Salimur Choudhury. I'm the faculty member in the Department of Computer Science. So I teach both undergraduate and graduate courses. And I'm involved heavily in my research activities too. I lead Lakehead Optimization Research Group. I supervise a number of undergraduate and graduate students. And I'm very excited to talk with you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We're always happy to have a special guest join us and chat a bit more about our topics. We know computer science is a very popular program for our international applicants. So please, I want to encourage you, today is your opportunity to ask questions of our special guest, and we'll get started. So things to remember before we do dive into the actual topic. Whatever you do see today, we are recording the session and we'll be sending you a link afterwards for the recording. So don't worry, you can watch it again. If you have to head out at any point, you can catch the last little bit or the ending, and you'll get that recording very soon after. If you do have questions, please use the Q&A function built into Zoom. The Q&A function is where we will be answering most of our questions. If you do submit your question in the chat, we'll encourage you to then resubmit via the Q&A. We also have a few Lakehead experts behind the scenes working with us today, so they're also answering questions behind the scenes. And the last one, stay connected. So make sure to follow us on our social media channels. It's great for updates about future webinars, as well as it gives you an insider view about Lakehead University. It gives you a sneak peek of the student experience. I'll go over the social media channels towards the end of the webinar, but I do want to encourage you to follow us so that you do get regular updates about future events just like this and how to stay connected with us. Alrighty, so at this point, we'll dive into computer science. We have a few slides to go over, plenty of questions for our special guest. And then of course, we'll be using this time openly to answer your questions here today. So the first question I have for Salimur is, what programs are offered within the Department of Computer Science here?
Okay, so we offered both undergraduate and graduate programs. So I'll start briefly with undergraduate program and then move to the graduate program as well. So in undergraduate program, we offer a Bachelor of Computer Science. We have various options within the program. We also have co-op program associated with all these programs. We also offer different specialization. For example, specialization is brain programming and health informatics program. So typically, if any students take one of these options in the later in their program, they will have to take some courses designed specifically for these programs. Now, so far, we have offered all these programs only in our Thunder Bay campus. As you know that we have another campus in Aurelia, and we have just started a year back Lakehead University Georgian partnership program there. So under this program, we offer Bachelor of Computer Science program there. And so in this partnership program, the first 2 years, students are designed to take courses in Georgian College in Berry and the last 2 years they will come to the Aurelia campus to finish their program. So it's a kind of 2 and 2. And we also have a transfer program for that. So that so in Lakehead University Georgian Partnership Program, when they finished the first 2 years in in Berry campus in Georgian college, they also receive a diploma in computer programming. And finally, once they finish their another 2 years at Aurelia, they can get the degree for the computer science in bachelor program. Now, being said that, if anyone, we also have, as I said, we also have a transfer program. So with the Georgian college too. So if you are taking any other program on computer science related in Georgian college, so after 2 years, you can transfer your credits also in Aurelia campus. So that's pretty much our kind of our undergrad programs. And I am going to say that in Aurelia campus, our first cohort, which will be entering in third year, they will be starting from this fall. So they already already started in Georgian college. They will be finishing by this. Now, this is our undergraduate program. In graduate program, we have actually Masters of Computer Science. We have 3 streams, I would say, or 3 options. The first option is a course-based program, which is a 1 year long. And we have 2 other programs, which is a project-based master's and thesis-based master's program. Now, in project-based and thesis-based master program, you have to be here for at least 5 terms. That is, typically students take 5 to 6 terms. We call 3 terms a year. So within 2 years, it is expected you will finish your program. So these are the brief about our all of our programs in undergraduate and graduate. And very recently we have created, and it's almost there. And actually we'll be starting taking students soon, which is a Vector Institute Artificial Intelligence Specialization Program for Masters in Computer Science. But so far, until now, it is only designed for thesis-based students. So if you are interested in the thesis-based program and you want to do the artificial intelligence related program or research, then you can enter into that program. The good thing about it is that Vector Institute, I'm not sure how much people are familiar with the Vector Institute. Vector Institute is one of the premier AI institute in the whole world now, even, and it is based in Toronto, in Ontario. So they are aggregating different programs of the different university, and we are one of the very first programs that got aggregated there. So the one advantage, they have already aggregated our program, and they provide a lot of internship, co-op, and scholarships also. So far in the last 2 years, around 6 students got a very, very competitive scholarship from Vector Institute in our department. So these are the kind of programs we have now. If you have any maybe deep level questions, you can ask me. Definitely, I will go through.
Awesome, and that's a good segue actually into our first question here. So a student asks, what are some of the subjects that a first-year undergraduate student in computer science would study? So I'll pass that one off back to you, Salimur.
Yes, so for the first year undergraduate, you know that Bachelor of Computer Science and in computer science program, you had to take some of the science courses and other related university level courses along with computer science courses. So if you are talking about computer science courses, the very first course in computer science, you will say C programming. So we have mainly 2 programming courses. By the way, I'm talking about the 4 years program that we are offering, not the Lakehead Georgian partnership program, because that has a different curriculum, little bit different, I would say. But the C, in our 4 years program, initially we start with the C programming, and then you have to do a few math courses and science electives. We have also other electives too. So it's a kind of first year, it's a kind of, I would say, liberal arts education type. You have to cover the few other subjects as well in computer science. As long as you enter into the second year now, second term, which is within the first year, you will take more, we call this the 1431, it's a C++ programming, and again, you have to finish few electives. But from the second year onwards, you are mostly, I would say, 80% courses are computer science courses. Now, if you see our curriculum in academic calendar, and I can go in much details if time permits, then I can go through the few courses that we offer in the first year in more details. But first year, pretty much across the board, because we are under the science and environmental studies faculty. So, and math is very important for us in our computer science program. So you have to take few math courses.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for answering that. I see quite a few questions regarding some of the courses, subjects, topics offered within the master's level too. So I'll pass that one off to you again, and then I think that's going to address quite a few questions that are currently in the Q&A. So again, just some of the courses and subjects in computer science at the graduate level.
Sure. So please remind me, Jordan, if I miss, because there are a few questions coming. So
No worries.
I'm just going through the questions that you are saying. I hope that it will cover a lot of questions. So yeah, so graduate level courses, we have a wide range of courses and very state-of-the-art industry related and even research specific questions. So I'll start with some courses related to artificial intelligence. By the way, in artificial intelligence related course, you don't need to only be in the Vector Institute, the specialization program. As a general student also, in the Masters on Computer Science, in other stream, you can take the AI related courses as well. There is no such restriction, but if you pick your specialization, your thesis has to be in AI related. Now, going back to the courses in AI, we have fundamental artificial intelligence courses. We have machine learning and neural network courses. We have deep learning courses. We have pattern recognition courses. We have another computer vision and image processing. We have one video analytics course. So these are a set of courses under, I would say, artificial intelligence. So I missed another one. There is a natural language processing. So kind of we cover all the areas of artificial intelligence, and these are the very new state-of-the-art courses under AI. And I am pretty sure from my experience, people are very interested or enthusiastic to take artificial intelligence related courses. So we offer a broad range of AI related and advanced courses as well. Now, in other than these courses, in data analytics, we have introduction to data science. We have a big data courses also. So each covers a wide range of topics that are related to big data and data analytics that's the industry also needs. Other than these courses, we also have, I would say, communication side. In networking communications, we have a wireless communications and advanced networking courses. Smart health analytics is very important in our region or even in Canada. We pay a lot of attention due to the demand on health information. So we recruited one smart health research chair 1 year back, and he has started creating a courses, and that will be starting from this summer. We will offer a course on health informatics, smart health analytics. So these are the few courses in very application specific and demanding. Other than this, we have some fundamental computer science related courses and theoretical computer science courses, because as I said that we also offer thesis based students, and sometimes thesis based ones to go to the very fundamental level as well. So for example, I offer optimization methods course, and there are other some theoretical related courses as well. So these are the broad courses. Now I'm going to add one more thing. With the special permission of the department, you are allowed to take one course outside of the department as well, one course, but you have to take a special permission for graduate coordinator and show the reason of being, and it has to be related. So we have an electrical and computer engineering and software engineering department. So if you see a very advanced courses that you may fit your need and we are not offering, yes, definitely we can give an option to you to take one more courses from outside.
Awesome. Thank you so much for plenty of detail and going into the background of all the subjects. We have quite a few obviously offered at both levels. I'm going to pass off a question to Patrick. What were the scholarships for international graduate students, and are there any scholarships based on merit?
So graduate funding is a case-by-case situation at Lakehead University. The Faculty of Graduate Studies has a great resource on their website. If you go to lakeheadu.ca and click Grad Studies, you should be able to navigate there. In terms of securing both funding, the different funding sources, and how to go about securing a graduate assistantship or a teaching assistantship within the faculty. A lot of that funding isn't securable until you get to campus. So when you're doing your budgets, it's important to keep that in mind, that you may not know if you have a GA or TA until you arrive on campus as a graduate student. So it's good to keep that in mind while you're budgeting for your program.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Patrick. So I have a few more questions here. Now, I'm not sure if Patrick, Salimur, either one of you may be able to answer this. If you have applied for the course-based program, is it possible to change it to an AI thesis after joining the program?
Yeah,
For
so
sure.
yeah, I can answer this question. So at any given period of time, if you have enough reason and you talk with the graduate coordinator, we have the options to move from one program to another program according to the guidelines of Faculty of Graduate Studies. So it's not only us, we have to go through the Faculty of Graduate Studies, but if graduate coordinator approve this one and we have a very solid reason, why not? Definitely possible. And I'm going to tell you a few cases that a lot of time actually students come initially in the course space and project based program because they don't know the supervisor, they don't know much about the research interest, and some of the students want to see whether their passion is for thesis or not, right? So they want to go in little. So my first thesis-based student that I recruited, Lakehead, he was in course-based program or project-based program at that time. So he took my courses and later he contacted me and he showed his interest to move into my research area to conduct some research and move to the thesis-based program. So absolutely, yes, it's possible. But in that case, if you are moving to the thesis-based, you have to secure the supervisor also. So for example, because in thesis-based, you have to have a supervisor who will guide you for a longer time. So for example, if you come here in your first term, you take few courses in AI related and you like one of the area of the supervisor, of the instructor, you'd go and talk with him or her. And if both agrees, it's possible, and it's very much possible, to be honest. We encourage students also to move to the thesis-based program and do some extensive research also. But initially, I would suggest you to check whether you have to think about long term whether you are interested or not in this thesis-based, but it's possible.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we do have a question from a student. Do we still have courses available running in the summer, given the current isolation situation and revolving around COVID-19? So I'll answer that one actually. And right now, I'll let you know that our Lakehead University senior management team is working diligently to get the answers for you. What I do encourage you at this time to do is go to lakeheadu.ca/about/coronavirus. That link is listed at the bottom of the slides right there in yellow. On that webpage, we are updating regularly as we get answers to some of these pressing questions. For example, for students that are coming who have been admitted into the spring intake, we'll be updating the FAQ section or the frequently asked questions section with those answers regarding about how we'll move into the spring semester and what that looks like. So I do encourage you, although we don't have the answers for you just this minute, please monitor that website regularly and you will get updates regarding around how Lakehead is working towards the next step in this current situation. It is an unprecedented situation, so please bear with us because I can assure you that our senior management team has worked and spent countless hours to find the answers for our future students and our current students, as well as our graduating students. So at this time, I'm going to pass it back to the slides because I see some questions coming up that are really, really good, but I know that we're also going to cover them in the slides upcoming. So I know that you did briefly touch on Lakehead Georgian. So I was just wondering if you could maybe chat just a bit more about it and explain the difference between studying a program fully at Lakehead versus doing the dual degree diploma in the 4 years. And
Yeah,
I'll pass it off to Salimur.
yes. So in the lake, as I said, the Lakehead Georgian is based in two campuses, like or Georgian College and Lakehead University. The advantage of this program is that you will have a kind of dual degree. So after finishing your first 2 years, you will get a computer programmer diploma, and you will get another 2 years to get your Bachelor of Science program, a computer science degree. Now, within this program, in these 4 years, in first two, one of the advantage of this one is the first 2 years you will be extensively doing a lot of courses in computer programming specific. So as I say, in 4-year courses in bachelor program, we start in computer programming, you take some other science related courses and elective courses. There also you will take few math courses and a little bit of other elective courses, but more on a lot of in programming side. You will learn a lot of framework, lot of programming styles, so a lot of programming languages as well. And another advantage is that within the very first year, you are allowed to go for the co-op program. So your first summer, you will go for the co-op. It is an integrated, the co-op is an work placement is integrated there. So very first summer, you will go for 4 months co-op. And again, in the second summer, before you move to the Aurelia campus, you will go for the second term as a co-op term. So that is the advantage. And as you know, you will get a flavor of both college program and the university programs. So in college program, it's more hands-on. Definitely our other 4 years programs are also hands-on, but college has a different style and different things. So, you will get, as I said, you will get more exposure to the industry initially, I would say, and what the demand of the state of the art of the industries and what are the related courses they really want. So you will be exposed to the program pretty early. And as I said that you will have a very good opportunity for co-op, and there are a lot of industry around that in South, and you have an opportunity to go for the co-op placement there. And for international students, I believe there are some, or every students, maybe Patrick can say more, there are more scholarship opportunities as well, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Patrick, did you want to chime in and just chat about the Lakehead Georgian scholarship too?
Yeah, so right now with the Lakehead Georgian programs, all 4 of them, but computer science included, not only can students qualify for our automatic merit-based entrance scholarship for undergraduate programs, but additionally, students enrolling in the fall 2020 cohort will automatically qualify for an additional $4,000 in year 1 of their program. This means you can qualify up to $11,500 depending on your academic merit in year 1, and then our normal scholarship grid after that. So it's a really great opportunity, not only because it's a great program, but there's also a little bit of extra funding available to international students.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much. So I just want to address, I've seen quite a few questions about cooperative education, how students can get that. We actually have a section very close to here upcoming about cooperative education and cooperative advantage, as we like to say. So I'll talk briefly about the overall co-op advantage, and then I'll pass it off to either Patrick or Salimur, maybe to discuss some of the more specifics as it pertains to computer science, when students would apply for co-op, and what the requirements are. So first, I'll talk about the general facts. So co-op terms typically range between 4 and 16 months. Your average pay can range from 20 to 25, and we are partnered with over 140 national and international partners. So of course, these terms are specific to all of Lakehead. So terms range 4 to 16 months, depending on what program you're involved in. Pay, of course, depends on what program you're in, what major you're studying. I do know that computer science is typically on the higher end, closer to the 25, if not over the 25. And of course, of the 140 national and international partners, some of them might not be suited for a computer science co-op student, but we do definitely have partners with some really great companies. So for an example here, we are partnered with IBM, Hydro One, BlackBerry, the Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Center, Grant Thornton, New Mountain Gold Corp. These are just 6 of the many partners that we have, and some of these are directly related to the co-op of a computer science student. So while I'm on this slide, I'll pass it back to, I believe, Salimur to maybe discuss some of the, what is the criteria for a co-op, especially, and could you speak to both an undergrad and a grad level?
Yes, so in co-op programs, we have some grade requirements before you go for the co-op programs, both for undergraduate and graduate. I need to double check again about the undergraduate grade requirements, but I'm pretty sure this is the one. So you have to have 70% grade in all computer science courses or so to before you start your co-op program. So yeah, and we have a separate co-op office for handling all these requirements and all these details. And I believe in the fall they run different sessions for incoming students to explain them all the co-op requirements, and you can talk with them about program specific co-op requirements as well. So this is a kind of strict guideline written in the academic calendar now. So in the co-op, other than these grade requirements, I really encourage students to involve in research activities or extra projects or project activities more in the courses while you are taking these courses. Because, you know, in computer science, we really want to see some of your portfolio somehow, even in the co-op. So yeah, it's a very competitive co-op programs everywhere nowadays, right? So the industries are expecting more nowadays from students as well. So not only the grade, when you are taking the courses, please talk to your instructor. Please try to develop few projects out of these courses. Even sometimes if the courses doesn't have, typically the first year, second year courses might not have a detailed project component in their course, but you are always welcome to do some extra things. And even you can talk with the other faculties, try to involve in the research and some activities that will help you, that will give you some sort of edge in addition to your grade requirements to go for the co-op in the big industries. Now in the graduate program, you have to have an 80% average before you go to the co-op programs. And again, you have to finish 2 terms. Like in graduate programs, you have to finish 2 terms at least. So first, fall and winter, you have to finish around 6, you have to finish 6 courses, 3 courses in fall, 3 courses in winter, and then apply for the co-op placement. So you have to finish these courses, 80% get, then you are eligible. Again, same apply to the graduate students. Try to show your portfolio, try to develop your projects so that you can show into your co-op program. Now, and so you will be co-op eligible as long as you maintain those grade requirements and the number of courses that you have to take. And then actually, when you apply, they will definitely call you for interviews. And interview, if you're successful, then you'll get the position. Now for the interviews also, you have to, it's a good chance to talk with your faculty, what type of things industry might apply, because from our experience, we know few of this company already, what is their expectation. So it is always a good idea to talk to the professors of the department.
Awesome, thank you so much. So I'll pass it off to Patrick. He's going to chat a bit about some of the full course equivalent questions.
Yeah, so just a couple questions in the chat about FCEs and half credit FCEs and 1.5 credit FCEs. So at Lakehead University, there are mandatory compulsory classes, full credit electives, and half credit electives. And they make up your degree as a complete you know, well-rounded education. I think this question is specifically about master studies, and the question is specifically about the 1.5 FCEs they're allowed to take outside of their compulsory classes. The key wording there is with your graduate supervisor. So you'll work with your graduate supervisor to determine whether or not you need to take some full credit electives around your program to build out a proper schedule and will help further your education. So you'll work with your grad supervisor on campus to select those courses. They may or may not be within the faculty.
Awesome, thank you so much, Patrick. So I do have some more questions for Salimur. You're definitely going to be talking lots throughout the webinar here, so I thank you again for joining us. There's some more specific questions to individual applicants here, so I think we'll be able to answer them pretty quickly. Are there any specific courses for data analysis or database management within computer science?
It depends on the undergraduate or graduate level. So I'll maybe answer both so that even in undergraduate level, we have basic relational database courses, and then we have a data science related courses, big data courses. And in the graduate level, we have, yes, as I mentioned earlier, even we have a very good data analytics courses, so big data courses, data science courses, and as I said, smart health data analytics courses, that is a very brand new courses too. So we have around now 3 data analytics related courses.
Awesome, thank you so much. So another question for you. For the Masters by Project program, is there a current artificial intelligence specialization, or is that only available for the thesis program?
So as I said, it is currently only for thesis students. But being said that, I said that the courses that have been designed for this specialization, as a project-based students, also you can take all these courses, no problem. So you can take these courses, but in your degree or your certificate, it will not be written in specialization in AI, because in specialization in AI, the courses plus one thesis in related to AI, then you can only take AI related specialization. On the other hand, for example, you are enrolled in AI thesis specialization and you take these courses, that's not enough. Your thesis has to be related to AI. You cannot do something other areas. So, but as I said, yeah, project-based students, I can tell you that you can take all these courses, even your projects can be AI related, but currently, unfortunately, the specialization degree that will be written in your certificate, it will be only for thesis.
Awesome. Thank you so much for clarifying. So I'm just reading through some of the questions here. I do have another one regarding the thesis-based program at Lakehead for fall intake. The student would like to know which courses will be covered and how to apply for teaching assistantship. So for the first part about some of the courses that a thesis-based computer science student would cover in that first term, I'll pass it off to you. If you would also like to talk about graduate assistantships or teaching assistantships, I'll leave that up to you. If not, I know Patrick would be happy to cover that.
No, thank you. I can cover both questions. It's a good question. So, okay. So as we are saying, every year we are advancing our courses with new courses. So this fall we have a tentative plan, not yet finalized, but based on last year, I can tell you we'll have pretty similar courses. So pattern recognition courses, we'll have a big data related courses, we have communication courses, we have a computer vision courses will be offered in fall, and machine learning and neural network. And in winter term, we are planning for deep learning courses, natural language processing courses, one image related courses as well. So these are the courses. Now, we try to disperse these courses, not in concentrated in one term. So a few courses will be offered in fall, other courses in winter, and we also offer spring, summer graduate courses as well. So it will be kind of distributed among them. Now, in considering the graduate assistantship, it's a good question. I receive a lot of email every time regarding this question. So I can say from the department's perspective. So because I was a scholarship officer for last 1 year, now another person took over, but I know a lot of details about it. So graduate assistant at Patrick says that it's not guaranteed initially, sometimes. But from the last 2 years, what we are seeing that we are trying to offer some initially, but again, you have to contact with your supervisor. So far, we are trying to offer thesis-based thesis-based program, who enrolled in the thesis-based program, who has a supervisor who agreed to provide research assistantship. We are also providing some graduate assistantship along with it to make some funding offer from the department. But being said that this is very competitive and very limited, and you have to contact your thesis supervisor first. For example, if someone's research aligned with you, you can email him, and if he's agreed to supervise you and he has some sort of external funding to provide you as a research assistantship, then as a department, we will try to match this one along with the graduate assistantship. Now, being said that, once you are here, sometimes there are some opportunity comes up. So some additional graduate assistantship offered from the Faculty of Graduate Studies based on the budget. Sometimes they adjust, so they provide additional. Sometimes we need more graduate assistant due to the demand. So definitely in that case, we'll try to broadcast with all of the available current registered graduate students, and they can apply, and we have some internal procedure to select them in that case. But other than this one, I really emphasize on research assistantship too. Once you are in the campus, try to talk with the other faculties too. For example, you are not very successful to securing any funding before coming. After coming, I strongly encourage to go to the instructor, go to the professor, talk to them. They will have a very good chance to talk to you one-to-one, right? So, and you can take their courses, show some interest, and if it matches, they can provide some research assistantship.
Awesome, thank you so much. So I'm going to pass it off to Patrick. He has a really good question from a student, so I'll let him answer that one right now.
So, you know, one of the questions in the Q&A is about the current COVID-19 coronavirus situation and fall semester. And I think it's great that you've been watching Canadian media and watching the CBC News. It's many Canadians are doing the same. As you know, we're truly in unprecedented times here around the world. It's not just Canada that is dealing with COVID-19, but it's a global public health crisis. That being said, at this time, we're hopeful and we're encouraging students to continue their applications for fall because this is a day-by-day situation. No one can really predict what it will be like tomorrow. If you would have told me a month ago that we'd be here, I think, I don't know if anyone would have seen this coming. So, you know, September is still a long ways off. We encourage you to continue your applications, your visa process, and all of that like normal, and really take a look at your Lakehead U email and your Lakehead U about lakeheadu.ca/about/coronavirus webpage, just because that's where all of our decisions come out. And as we work through things with spring and summer and fall courses, that will be the first place information gets posted. And, you know, we're hopeful that things get back to normal sooner than later, but we are preparing for all eventualities.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patrick. So I have some more questions. I am going to focus on some of the more specific questions. I do have our Lakehead experts behind the scenes answering by text with some of the general questions, but I do want to focus, since we do have our special guest from computer science, Salimur Choudhury, here, I will focus on those. So we do have a question who's curious if they would like to study Masters of Science in Computer Science, but they don't have a deep knowledge about coding. What would you recommend to that student based on getting into the program and then how they can prepare for that level?
Yeah, so that's a good question, actually. So yes, we understand that there are different students come from different universities with different course descriptions, but what we expect in the master's level is that you should have at least one or two strong programming skill. You don't need to learn a lot. You don't need to know a lot of programming skills. So for example, traditionally in every school in the undergraduate level, either they teach C++, C++, or Java. So we expect you to learn at least one programming language in details, because in every courses you will be assigned some projects. Now you can do these projects using various programming language, and if you have expertise in one of these fundamental programming language, actually you can switch to the other programming language very quickly. I know right now in AI and other things people use, or data analytics, people use Python and R programming language, but my understanding, even if you do not know this programming language, you can learn this very quickly because there are a lot of flexibilities there. But the requisite is you have to learn, or you have to know at least one programming language very well. As I said, either Java or C++. Now I understand some of them might have graduated long time back, and you're based on your work, maybe you are not doing this programming for a few years, you moved your career in a different route and you want to come back, you want to refresh. I'd encourage you, if you are typically our enrollment is in September, you still have some time, and due to this COVID situation, you have very good opportunity to put your time on self-learning sometimes, right? So this is a very good chance. I would say there are a lot of tutorials, lot of online courses available for free, and YouTube videos, and a lot of learning set for C++ and Java and Python. It is always a good idea to do some, put some hours in self-learning. It will give you an edge, definitely. But once you are here, we can also guide you. Our instructors are always very helpful. They can also guide you in more additional resources. So, but that's the idea. Maybe if you have some, you forgot some of the concepts, you are not practicing for a long time, it is a good time to refresh your memory.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I have a few questions. I think they could be answered quickly. So I'll just kind of rhyme them off, and then if you could give those answers. For a graduate student in computer science thesis-based, do they have a choice to specialize in mobile application or gaming?
No, master's program, no, but we have a game programming courses as well, but you can take the courses if you want. But right now we do not have any specializations in masters in computer science. One of the reasons is that in specialization, actually in the graduate level, you have to be very specific, lot of courses you have to take in one specialization. And sometimes, and other than AI, which is very needed and we have a lot, I would recommend to go through the broad areas, because in master's level specialization, you will not have much breadth knowledge in other areas. So it's a good idea to go. But we offer game programming courses. Unfortunately, we do not have a mobile technology graduate courses. My understanding, this is not even a graduate level courses. Mobile technology across the universities where it is typically offered in undergraduate level. So we offer these courses in undergraduate level. Now, if you really want to learn these materials, you can talk with the instructor and you can audit few courses there. You can go to the classes, you can learn some materials. There is no such restriction. You can talk with the instructor, with the instructor permits, you can audit undergraduate courses and as many as you want to learn those materials.
Awesome, thank you so much. So I have another one. If I'm interested in studying a course not present with LH, say blockchain, then does LH assist in any way learning it?
So yeah, so definitely you can take, I know there are a few researchers that they can guide you to learn the materials, and I can tell you a few things. I know this is there in Ontario universities, even in the master's level, we have some agreement. We have an agreement with the Ontario University that you can take maximum 2 courses from other university with the permission of your home university than other university. Being said that, it is not that much in practice, to be very honest, but the guidelines are there. Options are there. So for example, at some point, if you want, and that can be counted as in our courses, if you think, for example, any other university is offering a very well graduate level blockchain related courses that we are currently not offering, definitely, or any other course, so you can take one such courses from outside with the proper permission. You have to go through some channels. Even the graduate studies in both universities should agree, but that's an option. Now I'm going to tell you one thing, that we are planning to offer more security related courses. I forgot to tell you, right now we have a courses on network security and cryptography for the graduate level in the security level, but we are also in a planning phase to offer some blockchain and more related courses. Now, sometimes you see that students are more inclined to more applications. So the blockchain is nothing but just a few applications. For your course, you have to have some fundamental content also. So now if you know the security and other stuff, so you can move into the blockchain slowly by yourselves too. But yes, we are trying, we are planning. If there is substantial interest and substantial materials we can offer in a blockchain related courses, definitely we can offer.
Awesome. So I do see a question that Patrick would like to answer regarding enrolling in the computer programming at Georgian College. So I'll pass it off to Patrick to answer that question right now.
Yeah, so the question is about transfer credits and Georgian College and Lakehead University. And I would encourage you, if you're interested in doing the diploma from Georgian College and then transferring to Lakehead University, to just go ahead and apply for the Lakehead Georgian diploma and plus degree program. It essentially graduates you with both certifications and makes the transition a little bit more seamless and prepares you well for life at the university level. So it's a specialized curriculum that's designed to get you both the diploma and the degree inside of 4 years, with a little bit of catered teaching style that's a little bit more, will help you with the transition to a university degree program at the end of it. So that's how I would go about that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patrick. So now we do have a few questions regarding career prospects for computer science students, as well as job opportunities. And there's a question there related to Thunder Bay and kind of some of the IT industries and opportunities within Thunder Bay. So I'll pass that off to Salimur to chat about career prospects. And I did change the slide to list just a few of the career paths that are available.
Yeah, that's a good question actually. So we have a few software related industries in Thunder Bay region. So yeah, we are very fortunate to have them, and they always try to prefer our students. So a lot of our graduates already started doing job there. There are a lot of financial related companies are here. They are also started looking to hire our students, because you know that in computer science degree, now it is not only restricted to software industries, right? So you can do the jobs and co-op in other related industries where they really need a computer science a developer and computer science graduates. So other than the industry, we have a very good local and provincial and federal ministries also here. And nowadays I can see the interest of them also to recruit our students here. Now, so in Thunder Bay, there are some other manufacturing industries also, and our students are doing co-op and full-time job there. And we have a Thunder Bay Telecom company who are recruiting our students. One of my previous graduate students also joined there first as a co-op and then as a full-time employee. They also hire network-related they have a very good uh, job opportunities for who have some network experience also. So wide range. Other than the Thunder Bay region, I want to add you a few things that our students actually are everywhere. They are in the Southern Ontario too. They're doing excellent. Every year, Canadian Revenue Agency, CRA, comes to our campus to recruit students, and it is specifically for business and computer science students. And every year they offer around 8 or 10 job offer to our students, not only co-op, as a full-time students also, full-time employee. And the one advantage of the CRA, Canadian Revenue Agency, that I can tell you for the international students, though it is a federal organization, they recruit students with work permit also. The students who are graduates are international students work permit. And two of my last graduate students, they did work with me. They recruited in CRA last year. So we have a very good connections with them and other industry in Southern Ontario and other provinces in Canada too.
Awesome. Thank you so much for speaking about that. I do want to let all of our viewers know, so we will be wrapping up at 11 a.m. today. So it is 10:51 a.m. in Thunder Bay, Ontario. So we have about 10 more minutes. If you do have questions, I encourage you to submit those in the chat in the Q&A function right now. We have about 18 though, so I don't believe that we'll necessarily be able to answer all of them live right now, but like I said, our Lakehead experts are behind the scenes typing answers. And at the very end, when it does come to 11 and we do have to sign off, if you do have any questions that are still outstanding that we weren't able to get to, please use the email at the bottom of your screen right now, welcome@lakeheadu.ca, and forward us that question, and our dedicated team will actually connect you with the proper person to answer that or send you the answer directly. And we do have dedicated people doing that throughout the week, so please do that. I will pass it off to Patrick right now, and he's going to speak to some of the questions regarding around laptops.
Yeah, so we get this question a lot, and Dr. Salimur can sure chime in about whether or not you should buy a laptop before coming to Canada or after you arrive, and what type of laptop you should get. I would recommend connecting, if you're doing a thesis or project-based master's, connecting with your faculty advisor to ensure that you are purchasing a laptop that meets the right technical standards of the program in terms of operating system, processing power, RAM, storage, etc. On top of that though, one of the things I would also advise is, in Canada, we use a certain type of plugin. Plugins, as many of you know, are not standardized around the world. So ensuring that your laptop will be easily able to plug in to a power supply here in Canada means that you may want to consider buying your laptop here in Canada. I'll let Dr. Salimur chime in about what Mac or Windows operating system is preferred by the faculty.
So we have kind of mixed preference, and as Patrick said, that you have to talk with your supervisor a little bit. But for my students, I don't mind, because the softwares and the tools that I use for my research is across the platform. You can use in Windows, Mac, or Unix, any system. And I think most of our faculties, I can tell, but not very specific, but in general, I think they do not have any such preference, because nowadays these tools and things are across the platform. That should not be a big deal. A lot of them are in the cloud-based solutions, so you can just connect to the cloud and use those tools. But as Patrick said, please be careful about this power stuffs and code, because I saw few students came and they had some trouble on those, especially if you're coming from India and Bangladesh, Pakistan. We like those countries have a different voltage requirements and things. Plus, please make sure on those.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'll answer a few questions that are quick and easy. So The first one is a student would like to know they weren't able to join us just until recently, and they would like to watch it, of course. So we will be sending out a recording of this webinar. It will be a link to our YouTube channel, so please monitor your emails over the next few days, and we'll be sending out the recordings for all of our live events this week in that email. And for the other student that I'm going to answer their question, it said, do you have a Master's of Computer Science project for spring or January 2021 intake, just in case their visa gets rejected due to COVID-19? Will I get a deferral for the next term? So for that student, I do encourage you to go to our website, lakeheadu.ca/about/coronavirus. We are updating how we are changing our processes and procedures for our studies and intake dates and deferrals and whatnot. So all of those updates will be on that website. The website's listed at the bottom of your screen in yellow right now. So again, lakeheadu.ca/about/coronavirus. And for any students that have questions regarding COVID-19, some of the procedures and policies that we are updating, I encourage you to visit that website as soon as you can.
Yeah,
Well,
and Jordan, just to jump
sure.
in on, there's a couple other COVID-19 questions that I'm just going to chime in on just to speed things up. In terms of fees and because there's no banks open in your region because of COVID-19 and transmission in Canada of COVID-19, in terms of Lakehead's position on fees, we're very flexible. We just ask that you reach out to us and connect with either the undergraduate or graduate admissions team, and do consult the faculty, the lakeheadu.ca about/coronavirus for up-to-date information. And about transmission, about COVID-19, that's a developing situation every day. Right now, there are cases in Canada, as you all know. However, the most accurate information will be available at lakeheadu.ca/about/coronavirus.
Thank you so much for answering that, Patrick. So I do have another question for Salimur. Do students with lesser coding knowledge do well in the Masters of Science courses? And to speak to that, do we as Lakehead University provide them support, or do the professors, instructors typically push them and support them in that? And maybe also you could speak to kind of the peer support and the community they have with so many students in the program that can assist them.
Yeah, exactly. So you already answered it in a way of here. So yeah, definitely. We have those support. We have a good graduate assistance. So they can always help. So for example, if you're a first year student, there are some second year graduate assistants who are very proficient, and you can always talk to them one-to-one. Sometimes if you want to really learn some programming skill, improve your programming skill, want to learn advanced, we really encourage these things. And now at this stage, actually in the era, you should learn from peer a lot actually. So we have those platforms, and as you said, we have a large pool of graduate students. Definitely that can be, and the instructors are always welcome students to provide more feedback, more instruction, how you can improve. And as I said, the one advantage is that if you come here and you talk with the instructor, you can enter into his undergraduate courses to fresh up some of the things. So I have some students in the last year, I teach data structure, which is a very fundamental course in undergraduate level. So a few students come and they said, I want to audit your course. We took this course a long time back. It's a very required course. Can I take? I say, absolutely. Why not? You can come and take and listen to me in my classes in undergrad fresh. So those options are definitely there.
Awesome, thank you so much. So I do have another question. I am an international graduate student applied for fall 2020. What were the opportunities for on-board studies provided by Lakehead in the 2 years of my Master's of Education? Where can I spend my term as an exchange student in a foreign country? So I guess that speaks to, if you're studying your Master's of Computer Science and you're studying at Lakehead University, can you spend part of your study period actually in another country studying with another partner institution of ours?
So I can answer in a brief. We have, I'm not pretty sure. I need to check, and thank you. It's a good question. So you can contact me to which countries and which university we have the affiliation. But there is one opportunity is called MITEF's Global Link Award, and around to my best of my knowledge, in last 10 years we send around 8 or 10 graduate students to United States to do, but this as a research component. So you have to pick one graduate supervisor here, and it can be project based, doesn't need to be thesis based, and you have to develop your projects, and we have the collaborator. Every faculty has a collaboration link in the United States and other countries under the Global Link. We can talk with them, and you can apply to the Global Link. They will provide you funding to go there to spend 4 months there with that supervisor and do some projects over there. And being said that we send in the United States, but the Global Link is open for different other countries. For example, several countries in Europe, and it is not specific to any university. You can choose those universities which countries are listed there. But one restriction that you cannot go back to your home country. For example, you are a citizen of X country and you are studying here and you want to go to that X country as a transfer student for this one, that is not will be allowed. So this is a very nice program. It's a funded program. I can talk about in much more details if anyone wants to talk with me later and email me. And I can check the other, I'm not sure the Patrick or you might have a little bit more knowledge on the which universities, but I think we have an international office. We can definitely connect them with international office.
Awesome. Yeah, and like you said, we do have dedicated study abroad advisors in our international center. So you as a student, once you arrive on campus, you can work closely with our study abroad advisor to research those different opportunities, and they're happy to assist you and help you. And we're always looking to help students gain that experiential learning and gain that global competency. So I do want to acknowledge we are right at the 11 a.m. mark. If it's okay with you, I'll ask 2 more questions and then we'll wrap it all up for the day. I know that won't answer all of the questions that are currently open. If we aren't able to get to your question, I do apologize, but I encourage you to send us an email at welcome@lakeheadu.ca. And we do have staff monitoring that email throughout the week, so we'll be happy to get back to you as quick as possible. So the first question is there, number 1, HCI courses, and number 2, web framework courses in the Masters of Science, Computer Science course program?
Yeah, so that question was related, do we offer anything? So in web framework courses, again, I will tell you that these are the mostly in undergraduate level, and not many university offering the graduate level, though some university, if they offer, actually they take students from other background. For example, if your background is not computer science and engineering, but you want to take a master's in application in computer science, those type of program, but we do not offer. But being said that, you are always welcome to do some projects related to this, using these tools in your courses, and our instructor will be very happy to guide you on those. But this is a kind of my understanding, it's an undergraduate level courses. Now HCI, it's a very good question. We have been planning for the last few years to develop one HCI related courses, and hopefully in the next 1 or 2 years we'll be finished developing one HCI related. Currently we do not have any HCI related courses.
Awesome, thank you so much. So the last question I have for you, Salimur, is from Yash. It is concerning, they're going to be studying the project-based Masters of Science in Computer Science this September, but they're wondering, is it possible for them to still write a thesis without actually being in the thesis-based program?
So the question, okay, so if I understand the question right, yes, you can enroll. So what a lot of students do, they can do, you enroll in a project-based program, you start developing something with the faculty without formally applying to the program change, because sometimes you want to see for some time whether this thesis is going well, you really liked it not. Because as I say, first 2 terms, you'll be completely busy with your courses mostly. So you have to, even in thesis based, first 2 terms, you have to take 6 courses. So if you come into the first term, you are enrolled in a project based, talk to your supervisor, develop some thesis. Thesis writing is almost at the end we write, but you have to finish the research, you have to do work, finish the work first. You don't need to write thesis at the beginning. Definitely you will write in the last term or 2 terms before you end. So you develop your thing, if you think, and talk to your supervisor. If your supervisor thinks it can be ended as a very good thesis, it can be considered as a thesis, then you both can agree and submit an application to the graduate coordinator and faculty of graduate studies, they will approve.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I know that Patrick has been answering quite a few questions in the chat. I'll let him briefly mention what he's answered, and then
Yeah.
I'll direct your attention to the chat as well.
Just there were a couple questions about funding, TAs, graduate studies, and just because we're tight on time, I put the link to the Lakehead University program's graduate funding page. So that'll answer all the questions about graduate scholarships, TAs, GAs, and all of those things. There were a couple questions, and if you follow that link, you should be able to find the information you need.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And like I said before, if you do follow that link and you have a couple questions for us, you're a bit confused, we totally understand that. Please feel free to send us an email at welcome@lakeheadu.ca. It's at the bottom of your screen right now. So I will be going to the next few slides. So like I had mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, I did want to chat with you about social media, staying connected with us, getting regular updates from us. So I do encourage you at this point to follow us. We do have a Facebook channel. It's Lakehead University International. And if you visit us on our Facebook page, we actually have a dedicated group for the incoming class of 2020. So right now we have over 100 students on that group that are already making connections with fellow classmates, potential roommates, all that sort of stuff, and they're establishing those connections now, which is amazing to see and see that interaction, of course. We also have an Instagram, Lakehead International, that's focused on really giving you a unique and sneak peek into the student life and student experience at Lakehead. We have a Twitter, Lakehead INTL, and we do have a YouTube channel for the entire university. I do encourage you to visit us on our YouTube channel and explore the playlists Lakehead International and Lakehead International Live. The Lakehead International Live playlist is the dedicated place where all of these pre-recorded webinars do go up after they have been edited and finished, of course. So once we're done today, I send it off to our videographer in-house, and he puts it up on our YouTube so that you guys can join and you can watch it after the fact and ask your questions in the comment section on YouTube. Although you're not able to visit us on campus, I do encourage you also to take a virtual tour of campus at lakeheadu.ca/tours. It's a great opportunity to kind of see the facilities, the beautiful natural environment that surrounds our campus, both in Thunder Bay and Aurelia. And it gives you a sneak peek to give you a good idea of where you'll be studying. So I do want to take this time to thank our audience for joining us, our users for joining us, but more importantly, our special guest, Salimur Choudhury, for joining us and taking some precious time to answer many, many questions from our students. And of course, Patrick for joining me and helping me out. And to our Lakehead experts behind the scenes, thank you so much for helping us. We couldn't do without you.
Thank you very much. And please feel free to contact me if any student have any question related to our program, anything. I will be very glad. We have a dedicated graduate program assistant also.
For sure,
So
yeah. And so if we do receive any emails from students at our general email, welcome@lakeheadu.ca, and you would like to be connected with him, we will be happy to forward that message and connect you guys. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you at a future Lakehead International Live.